Hey, what's up, y'all? Back again with another video. I hope you guys are doing well and taking care of yourself, doing the best that you know how with the knowledge that you have right now. That is the key. Don't compare yourself to anyone, because what's the point? We're all literally doing the same thing. We all have traumas and we've all felt pain. So I want to talk about the angel number 555, which is significant in change. And I'm going to keep it really, really simple with you. It means change. And with my experience with the number 555, the angel number 555, it was heavy. Like, I was seeing, before I had awakened, I was seeing a lot of angel numbers. And I was making a transition into wanting to cut my hair, but I didn't even know what spirituality was. I was just following my intuition of doing it. Like, oh, I'm gonna cut my hair. I wanna cut it, I wanna wear it short, I wanna just cut it off, I wanna change, and I don't know why, but I'm going to follow that. So with that, I started to eat healthier too, just to be more conscious and intentional about eating healthy and being consistent of why I'm doing what I am doing, or why I'm eating what I am eating. And with that, I started to see the angel numbers. So with the angel number 555, it was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. During this time, my grandmother, she was sick with lung cancer, and she was alive for like a couple years or whatnot, or a year. I don't even really remember, but it was about a year or so before we knew that it was getting worse and worse and worse. So leading up to that, I went to barber school. I was doing my thing, and when it was getting closer to her death, I would get receipts of 555. I like bought a guy some food, a classmate who didn't have any money and he was struggling. And I was telling him as we were walking up to the restaurant that I've been seeing 555 a lot. And I bought him the food, and he was super like into spirituality and in touch with that. And he was very unique because he was the drug addict at the school, but he was very open with that, and people ostracized him. I didn't ostracize him because of the depth of our conversations, and I did set boundaries with him to where I didn't allow him to take advantage of me, but I also did not judge him. So while we were walking up to the restaurant, I bought him some sushi, I bought myself some sushi, and the total came out to 555. And I showed him, and I was like, wasn't I just talking about this? We walk outside, there's a car that says 555 on it. So it was just leading up to this whole epiphany. I was like, why does this keep happening? I was looking at videos and stuff like that, and it's all going to look different for everyone. You have to be in tune with yourself and let the universe guide you of what God, the universe, is trying to show you. But for me, this was my story, and I don't want anyone to basically be scared or frightened or anything like that. But this was leading me up to my grandmother's death. And so with that change, of accepting that change, and me being far away, like 5 hours away, living in LA and going up north to my grandmother's awakening, while I was driving there, of course, I was seeing angel numbers, of course. And then on top of that, when I got to her wake, because I left and I planned it to where I would leave the day of her wake. And when I got there, it was 555 when I arrived. And so accepting that change, that she had passed away, and accepting what I was going to see, accepting the people that were going to be there, it was huge and a pivotal moment for me to accept that things do change, and I'm going to have to change. You know, a lot of times grandmothers are like the backbone of the family, and they, you know, they're the ones that slip you money. You know, if something happens to you, they're the ones that come in clutch for you. You know, grandmothers have a different type of love that, you know, it's unexplained. So with that, I had to mature in my responsibilities And I had to mature with my spiritual self as well as an adult to know that I have to take accountability for myself and not rely on others. So restructuring my life to where I'm responsible for my emotions and my external has changed my life significantly because I wanted to go there. I did want the change, and the change was going to happen whether I liked it or not. And I was already changing. My higher self was already tapping in before I even knew. You know, your higher self knocks at your door, whether you like it or not, because God wants you and is picking you to be on the front lines of making change, not only for yourself, but to help change others around you. Everything that you go through is for a reason. Everything, every single thing, even the things that look bad, there's a reason why it happened. Even the things that are good, it's all connected. All of it is connected. All of it. You will start to realize that all of everything about your journey was all connected. Everything that was being mirrored to you was a connection and a reflection to yourself. So with change, a lot of people have a hard time accepting change. And it's going to happen. Even when you spend money, you go into a store and you spend money, what are you going to get back? Change, because change has happened. So it's inevitable. And once you can accept that, you will be okay. But when you become resistant to whatever the change is, it could be small. You can decide to drive a different route to work, and you look up and you get to the stop sign and it says 555. You did a little subtle change. You did a change of what you typically do to switch things up. And then you end up seeing somebody that you know that you haven't seen in forever, and you end up talking for a little bit before you go to work, or you decide to go get a coffee on the way and they give you a coffee for free. Little things can happen just by that split decision, but you have to be able to listen to that subtle, those subtle energies that God is trying to connect with you, and you can't deny it. You know, you got to get sharper on your intuition. So it is going to look different. It could be a small change and it could be a big change. But the thing is to not be scared of any of it. Any of it. Anyone who's worked in retail, in business, there's always change happening. And a lot of people in business or that work in retail and stuff like that, or customer service, they have a hard time with change. And their emotions get attached to things being the same. And with things being the same, you don't grow. You don't get new information. The things that you were scared of, you become not scared anymore. The things that you did not understand because you want to dive deeper into it, you start to understand it. And that comes with compassion and empathy. And that lifts a weight off of your shoulders that you don't have to put the world on your shoulders all the time. You don't have to put the world on your shoulders all the time. That it's all planned the way that it's supposed to. But if you can listen, God is already showing you what is going to happen if you can hear. If you slow down and you pay attention and you're not in fear. You're not in fear of God, because when you're afraid of change, you're afraid of God. And they tell people to fear God. You're not supposed to fear God because that is resistance. That is resistance to life. And with that, there's no growth. There's no growth. You're creating so much pain. And you're going to have pain regardless if you don't like the change anyways. But you just have to allow the change. You have to accept the change. Just like when you get change back from when you pay for something. You accept the change, don't you? You pay with a $20 bill and the item was $2 and the cashier gives you the change back. What you gonna do, not accept it? No, you're going to accept it. And that's the same thing you want to do with your life as well. You're not going to leave that change there. You get me? Unless you're like leaving a tip or whatever, but we're not going to get too deep into it. But you guys get what I'm trying to get at, is that change is going to happen. But the number 555, don't be scared of it. When things change, it's better. Sometimes things even work out even better for you when you think everything is burning up and things are going crazy and chaotic. It's just showing you that you're not in control, and this is what's supposed to happen. And the more you practice the fact that you can't change what is, and you can only change what you can only change your attitude towards it, your mindset towards it, how you handle it, and your emotions towards it. You can only change that. But other stuff is like, it's out of your hands. It's literally out of your hands. But change is a good thing, whether it looks bad or good. Change is a good thing. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So don't be scared of the number 555, because sometimes when you see these numbers, depending on what happened prior, it can kind of cause PTSD because of the previous thing that had happened that seemed traumatic. But at the same time, it's just allowing you to detach from the outcome. And this is what leads into expectation. Expectation will let you down at times. When you have too high of an expectation, it will let you down. There's been so many times where I've tried something or people hype something up online, you go try it, and then it wasn't as good as you thought it was because everybody was like, oh my gosh, it's so good, it's so amazing, yada, yada, yada. And then you try it because you hyped it up yourself, and now you got let down. But what if you didn't hype it up? Nothing. And you just went to go try it. You just went to go try it. And you end up really, really liking it. So watch the meter of your emotions and how much power are you giving something. Experience it for yourself. Let the universe show you the story that was created for you on your journey. For you on your journey. All you could do is take care of yourself, your mindset, your spiritual self. Feed your spiritual self. Feed yourself nutritional foods that are for you. And accept and detach. And I always say meditation is key to knowing how to detach. Don't be scared of yourself. This is why you are here. This is why you are here. It's to create change and to make change and to experience life. So don't be scared of it, because God is there all the way. You gotta listen. You gotta trust yourself. You gotta trust who you are. So thank you guys so much for listening to this video. And I will probably be back again with another angel number. I know I probably didn't explain it the way that most people have, but I'm here to explain it through my experience and what I have seen through my journey. And your journey is going to be different, but you just got to pay attention to what you are doing when you see that angel number. And you don't have to share to anyone that you are seeing spiritual numbers. You don't have to share it with anyone, because that was one mistake that I did with awakening, was sharing that I was seeing angel numbers because I was getting excited about it. I was just thought it was weird, and I'm like, is anybody else around me experiencing that? And they weren't. And you could put somebody on a journey that they were not even supposed to be on, and then they could start pretending to be you, or they'll see it as a competition. So if you don't have anybody around you that's on this spiritual journey, be silent with it. Strengthen yourself. The best thing you can do at times is be silent with certain things, and you will find people who are on the same wavelength as you to be able to guide you. But God is always speaking with you, and you're never, never, ever alone. You're never alone. Some things need to be quiet, and you will see why later on. I love y'all. Peace.